Welcome to The Array, the podcast dedicated to delivering AI clarity for the marketing community, presented by Jacquard. Our guest today is the CEO of Jacquard, Dan Head.
Hi, Toby. Hi, Jasper.
You talked about like customer data and people sharing information. Do you think customers want to share data with brands? Do they to get that kind of effect of like smart campaigns?
People quite rightly give marketing a bad name because a lot of marketing isn't great. Mm-hmm. But we all know marketing that is great. Mm-hmm. The technology is there now to be part of that creative canvas and to take great ideas into production at scale. AI can obviously do that far more than large teams of people.
It's about the creativity of the campaign and the effectiveness of campaign, and that it gives you a lot more latitude in what people are willing to give you if they're feeling like they're getting something in return.
How do brands get value from these technologies? So I think there are three factors. One is, how do you access the world of AI? There are lots of different large language models. Do you use an open source one, build yourself? Do you use Anthropic, Claude, whatever? How do I access this world of AI to get value from it? The second thing is, how do I learn to trust it? Because I definitely don't trust it. Why would I trust it? And then how do I scale it into my operation, which is mature and I don't want it to disrupt it? Because I have revenue coming from all these touch points and AI needs to facilitate and grow that. It can't disrupt it and damage that. So it's really important that we focus on two fundamental prerequisites, but understand that they are a means to an end, not the end. And one is compliance and one is performance. This happens with machines. When a machine is making parts on a factory floor, is it producing them within tolerances to sufficient controls, to sufficient quality at an acceptable speed? This is the same with the output of an AI. Is it producing an output that is within brand guardrails? And how? How is it within brand guardrails? If, back to the point about it's no good if it's limited by human capacity, checking as to whether or not the output is within brand guardrails it cannot be limited by human capacity, because then we're missing the point of this hugely powerful machine. So if an output from an AI is 10 things, 50 things, we can review every single one and say if we like it or not. But if it's 1,000 or 50,000, we can't. So the objective is not just is the output brand compliant, but how do we ensure brand compliance at massive scale? Brands should be asking technologists for how are you solving for that? The second part is then performance. And I think you said it, Toby, without being too myopic, of course this has to perform. We said we're talking about mature operations. We're talking about revenue lines. These have to continue or get better. In fact, they should get better. So how is performance not just going to increase, but then how is it going to be sustained at a higher level without becoming the annoying clickbait like Toby was mentioning? And maybe a brand does want to get clickbaity because all they care about is the open, but that's probably going to come at the price of brand affinity over time. And people have less and less patience for that. So what we're talking about is a theoretical kind of maximum performance level that we can sustain without becoming clickbaity, but with higher performance than we currently get from humans, because after all, this is a machine. Mm-hmm. Now, the good news about those two things is that controls and processes can exist to bring the machine into compliance. And the good thing about performance is that true AI works like a casino. It's going to run so many games, so many permutations, that it's statistically inevitable that it's going to be better than humans. And with the right controls, it can sustain that at the right level, make sure we don't get repetition and fatigue, sustain it over time. So compliance and performance are really important things to drill into, but they are a means to an end, because the end is creativity. So what more are you going to do? There's all these other channels, all these other audiences that would love to engage with your brand, but you're not even trying. You're not testing ways to get people to opt into location tracking because you've got a great new idea. You're not doing that because you don't have the time, because they're not using AI. And that's the thing about automation, the way automation's always been, which is it's like a flywheel. You need to start automating to get efficiencies, which results in more demand, which necessitates automation. You have to dive in and have a go.